आज ही डाउटनट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello everyone, so we have a question. Let Pn is equal to P raised to the power Pn minus 1 belongs to n belongs to 2, 3 and let P1 is equal to Ax minus 1 where A belongs to real number, that is real positive number. Then evaluate the value of limit x tends to 0 Pn divided by x. So we know what is given in the question is Pn A raised to the power Pn minus 1 minus 1, right? Let's say Pk tends to 0. So when I say Pk tends to 0, that means Pk is equal to A Pk minus 1 also tends to 0, right? So when I write Pk plus 1 is equal to, I'm replacing Pk with Pk plus 1, right? It should be A Pk plus 1 minus 1. I can cancel out each other, so I can write Pk minus 1 is equal to Pk tends to 0, that means A power 0 minus 1. Anybody's power 0 is considered to be as 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. I can say Pk also plus 1 also tends to 0 and Pk is also tends to 0. This is one equation, right? Now let's moving on to the further. Let's say as x tends to 0, P1 given over here is Ax minus 1 or A power 0 minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. I can say P1 tends to 0, similarly P2 tends to 0, similarly P3 tends to 0, right? Now what I have to see as x tends to 0, I can say P1, P2, P3, it is not P3, it is P3, dotted up to some Pn tends to 0, right? I have just proved this. Okay, I'm not writing anything without proof. So now given is limit x tends to 0, Pn divided by x is equal to limit x tends to 0, Pn divided by x, or I can say Pn minus 1 into, I'm just trying to figuring out Pn minus 2, I'm just trying to write it is in the form of Pk minus 1 and Pk, n minus 2 divided by Pn minus 3 dotted up to some P2 divided by P1 into P1 divided by x, right? Now I know limit x tends to 0 Pk upon Pk minus 1 is equal to limit x tends to 0 A Pk minus 1 upon me Pk minus 1, right? And we know limit x tends to 0 A x minus 1 upon x is equal to log A, right? Log A. Now by putting the value over here, I can say it is equal to log A. Now when I know log A power n minus 1 multiply limit x tends to 0 P1 divided by, because all things will cancel out each other, this considered to be as Pk upon Pk minus 1, Pk upon Pk minus 1, it is in the same equation, so this considered to be as log A, so I write it over like log A whole power n minus 1, right? When I see this, it is considered to ln, that is log n power raised to the power n minus 1, and this is nothing but limit x tends to 0, the value of P1 is Ax minus 1 divided by x. Now moving on to the further, I can write log a raised to the power n minus 1, and this is the value of log a. Log a, I can say log a n minus 1 plus 1 cancel out each other, so final answer is log a whole power n. This is the final answer. Thank you.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।